Hello and welcome to part 2 of the Mindjet. This is the demo series where I'm going to be going over one of my templates and how I work with the customer with Mindjet. I use this only for for discovery calls. So after I go face to face with the customer, I do some whiteboarding, gather some of the key processes and some of the ideas. I put them in here, and that way I can work remotely with the customer very easily. And it's a great tool. It goes counterclockwise, and the customers seem to like it a lot because I'm not just throwing an Excel and going top to bottom, and you can get lost in those processes. This way they always see where they're at. Right now we're in challenges, current situations, solutions, and I can open these little windows and it'll allow me to look in and see where we're going with this, and all the notes are taken. So I'm going to start by just pretending I'm talking to the customer. Mr. Customer, what we're going to be doing today is using Mindjet. This is a tool where we use in a clockwise motion. We're going to be starting with your business results and discussing some challenges that you have now and that you might be facing in the future, as well as some industry challenges in the future that you're gearing up for. Your current situation, including your processes. And once we get to solutions here, this is where we're going to start finding some applications in the marketplace that are good for your specific direction, next steps. And of course, I always start by going through who the team is that I'm going to be working with. Because keep in mind, the Connect tool for Mindjet is collaborative. You can have as many people adding notes as you want to on this, and it's fantastic. That's what I like about it. It's like Google Docs, but it's just a little more organic. And so let's start with business results. What I do usually is I go in and I just start asking, general questions. What type of metrics are you after? What do you, usually I've done this with whiteboarding, but if I was beginning fresh, I'd be really just writing all the goals down that they want. And then later on, we'd start kind of, okay, what's the most important one? And these change a lot. What number 3 might go to number 2, and I'll be arranging these until we get to a point where the customer is comfortable in that the goal 1 down to goal 4 is the strongest down to the weakest, and these are what we're aiming to. These are what we're aiming for right off the bat as the top goals. Once we're done, I basically say, okay, we're set here, and the customer agrees, yes, the priorities are set, and then I check off on that, and that's what we start building off of and doing more discoveries on. So, and I always go back and revisit this. Has anything changed? No, it hasn't. Great. So, for example, one of the top goals might be, the CEO of the company or the owner of the company has a manager-owner approach, and right now he's tied up in everything from sales to marketing to the QuickBooks to just getting business running from a day-to-day basis. But he wants to help get some new products out in 2013. He wants an additional office in London. He can't do that with all this hands-on activity that he has going on. So he needs more insight into the business. Right now he's 60-40. He needs more visibility and estimates. Reports aren't accurate. So he needs to get away from the paperwork and get away from the QuickBooks and really have something that he can remove himself from the business and take an owner-manager approach. So just an example. So after I'm done getting those business results down, check it off, it's completed, I go into the challenges. And keep in mind, this takes a few meetings. Sometimes you don't get it all right the first meeting. You'll go over business results. I've gone over business results for 2 or 3 times until we really get that hammered out and the metrics down and what they want to do. The company challenges. So we're going into company challenges, current and future. The industry challenges for current, future, and the tools that the industry is using. And keep in mind, I've done a lot of previous work on this, so this is already very well filled out. I've gone through and I've already set up, what type of tools is the industry using, what's the future look like for this industry, what are the current issues they might be having. So once I do that, I also go into the impacts of the business. So by the time I'm talking to the customer, I can already speak to them on a much higher level. In other words, the conversation I'm having is at a higher level. The questions are more specific to their needs. So it makes these meetings much more, I can get a lot more done. Once I get the current situation, the overview is pretty simple. I go over the company website. It's a very simple template area there. The status, I might be going over, the company practices today. And what I mean by that is, what are they using? What are they using for accounting? QuickBooks, Sage, and Act. What's their inventory? Q Express. Are they using a dispatching tool, Fleetmatics or ServiceMax, or some type of GPS? So I find out, what their company practices are today, and the industry practices. What is the industry? The tools and processes that they might be using. A little overlapping from challenges, but these aren't challenges. These are basically specific to what they're using. This all helps me to ask the specific questions. I take them out of my template here, which has all my questions, and I basically take them from a process platform and show that one more time, and products view, and I dump them into the sales, marketing, support, and general overview questions. Once I have them in here, these are more specific to what they need. I might add my own as well, but that way I'm not just throwing a whole bunch of questions out. They're very specific questions. They go in an order that makes me comfortable with asking these questions so I can develop them. So that's kind of how I throw my discovery questions out there. This competition, the product line, commercial, residential, description of the product line, the team, what does the team look like, who's the co-decision makers. So after I get all these three done, the business results, challenges, and current situation, we go to solutions. What type of solutions have we found for them? What are some good options? I always bring up these options in the market. I say, well, here's what we're looking for. We're looking for solutions that are easy to use for everyone in your business, from the admin to yourself to the field techs or whoever's using it. It has to be scalable as you're growing your business. It has to be the single source of truth. You're not looking through 3 apps to get the numbers you need. It must be collaborative because you're going to be stepping away from the business. The visibility must be in real time for reports and dashboards. So with those in mind, what we found is ServiceMax, for example. You have the ServiceMax overview, mobile pricing, etc. We go in and we basically do a little overview. We've done a demo. We don't know what the pricing standard is for their standard Orange app. The QuickBooks integration, what does that look like? Concerns we might have. There's a number of concerns, flash-based. The version, do they need Enterprise Edition, which bumps the cost up? Of course they do. So that's going to make it a little more expensive. Then we have in the instead of QuickBooks, if they're using QuickBooks or Indact or any other Intuit products, do they want to jump in and check out Accounting Seed? Do they want to go into Financial Force? What are the options for that? And of course, the next steps. Professional services, demo, discovery, which has been sussed out for pricing. So that's the processes that I go through for my discovery calls. And once I'm done with that, it transfers into a work order, but it gives me a really nice working environment for remote working. If I have a go-to-meeting and I'm using this, it's very easy to follow. I can send a PDF to the customer. I can have them share this with me. I can collaborate with other team members. So it's really a great application that I've really enjoyed using over the years, and I think that they're really taking the time to make their products better and better. So check out the Connect version, HTML5 based. It's very slick, works very well. And if you have any questions, reach out to me, and enjoy your day.